Hello everyone, today is vlog number 27, 3 days away for a whole month of vlogging. All to you, thanks to you guys, it's pretty amazing. Today I wanted to talk about a lesson I read the other night from Buddha. It was one about basically letting all things go, like not caring. That's a bit of a harsh way to say it, but we'll give 3 little stories, 3 quick short stories. One's a duck story. Basically, a bunch of little ducks were all in a pond, and there was too many of them, so basically there wasn't enough food and all of them were starving. So a group of ducks said, let's go to this volcano, it'll be a lot warmer there and it's beginning to freeze, so let's get out of here. And another set of ducks were like, let's go to the ocean, there'll be plenty of fish. And then lastly, a bunch of ducks went over and said, let's go to the humans, they'll treat us like gods and feed us and pet us. And so these 3 sets of ducks went their different ways, and then the rest of the ducks stayed in place. So the ones that went to the volcanoes found no food and basically burned to death. The ones that went to the ocean found fish, but the waves were too vicious and they all died. And the ones that went to the humans got hunted and killed. And the only ones that did alright were the ones that stayed. And that story made no sense to me. It's like, just be complacent and everything will be okay. Don't try for anything, don't have any ambition, and nature will treat you alright. What an awful lesson. And then the next one was the candle story. Basically, this little boy was a son of a water seller. So they had just enough to get by, and the water seller had no desire in his, he had what they need. They had food, they had shelter, and they were on the outskirts of a very prospering city. So the son decided one day, when his father had to go into town to sell water, he went with him, and he ran away from home and decided to start working for a chef because he wanted more out of life. He wanted to get more, and his heart desired more. So he started working at a restaurant. He ran the food trays to people, and he got fast real good. He started learning how to cook, then he started helping manage, and he was ambitious, and he wanted to become the best chef, and he wanted their restaurant to be the best, and he wanted to buy his own restaurant eventually, and he started adding candles as an advertisement. And then these other restaurants who were getting more business started putting up lights and big candles and big shows, and he added more candles, 50, went to 100 candles, went to 5,000 candles, went to 10,000 candles. And because there were so many candles, eventually great winds blew, knocking over the candles and started setting the entire place on fire. I forgot to mention, he met with this basically gypsy who had an urn that could let him see people's their desire. So if they were there would be this mystical blue fire as they could look into the urn and see other people, and they could see this mystical blue fire around them. And the more that they were desperate for these things, the more they would be burned. And by the end of this, when he was gathering, and he could see everybody was consumed in fires, and by the end, when he was at those 10,000 candles, his whole body couldn't even be seen. That's how much fire was engulfing his own body. And eventually those candles got blown over and set his restaurant on fire, the town on fire, and everything just was burning up. Everyone was just getting absolutely tarnished. And he somehow survived, ended up at his dad's place, and saw that his father had no desire. But he survived, and he didn't get burned by this chase. And this reminded me a bit of the Avatar, the legend of the Avatar, Aang. And when he was trying to unlock the Avatar state, this monk was going through these different steps of releasing his chakras, and one of the steps was that he had to release his grounding love for Katara. And he's like, that's a good feeling, why do I have to give that up? And he would seal himself off, and eventually the Avatar would let go at last, I need to be able to unlock that state. And I can completely, I guess that kind of broke that thought process for me. Like, I already understood it, but it expanded. It made my sense like, yes, you can be ambitious and you can just live life. That's fine, and like go for the things you want. But you can at no point think that you can never lose these things. Like, you are always in a state of losing everything. So just don't be afraid to let go, no matter what. Like, everything could be gone. You could lose your love, your life, your passion, your dreams. But if you sort of accept that fate and enjoy it, and just experience things for what they are and let them pass as they must pass, then you will be more content, I guess, is part of what it's saying. Yeah. Because I don't think it's life lacks a lot of luster if you give up all ambition. My cat's just fucking things up. That's an interesting lesson. It reminded me of like the lessons of when Alan was saying, if you want something, you don't actually want it. Things like that. Alan keeps calling me out for things, and I actually kind of love it. Alan is, if I was a general or something, Alan would be I'm seeing now that Alan is like my second-hand man. He's calling me out. He's keeping my virtues true. He's making sure like my shit's on point and keeping me in check. I like that. Keep at it. People should always be honest. Like, ask real questions, give honest answers, and we can all come to an understanding better. But don't like block it out. Like, don't become a donkey and just don't try and understand other people and get so frustrated you put up a wall and we all just don't get to understand each other. That's pointless. That's how my last relationship ended. Anyways, that was the talk today. I love you all. Keep persevering. And I'm almost done this Buddha series, so it's going to be great. And then I'm almost done my first video on Fortnite, so that's going to be hype. And then, yeah, we'll just carry on from there. Have a nice night, everyone. Boop!